welcome to my channel. My name is Mia and today I want to share with you guys some of the books that I love to read during the Halloween season. First, of course, has to be any of the stories or poems from Edgar Allan Poe. Absolutely love all of his work and I think it's just perfect for this spooky Halloween season. It's just so dark and just wonderful and fantastic, and yes, I don't think I need to say anymore. But yes, any of the Edgar Allan Poe work. The next recommendation I have here, this was actually lent to me by a friend and I had never read any of the stories and now I've read quite a few of them. And these are the scary stories, and this is the complete 3-book collection and is by, the drawings are by Gammell and it's retold by Alvin, Schwartz. There you go. Anyways, these are pretty fun. They are not, they're not as scary to read for me. Some kind of are, but not all of them are. They're just really fun. Like, I can envision, I wish I lived in the woods somewhere because I would definitely have like a fire pit and then tell these stories at night. It would be perfect. And for kids, this would be very, very scary because the drawings are just so amazing. I really recommend this for the Halloween season. Another one I recommend, of course, is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. And although this is not necessarily scary, it is very creepy and the photos set the mood and everything. I think it's perfect it's creepy enough that it's perfect for the Halloween time of the year. So this is another one I highly recommend reading. Another book I read recently is this one right here. This one I found pretty creepy. It did scare me a bit. It was not like crazy scary. It was not like horror, but it was pretty scary. I really did enjoy reading it. It is about hunting, of course, and it's called Diary of a Hunting, and it's by Verano, and it's just very creepy. It's very creepy. It's about a woman who had gotten a divorce and her daughter moved to this house, right? They moved to rent this house and the house is haunted. But as the story goes on, like, I don't even know. It's not conclusive at the end. Like, I don't know what to say without spoiling it. I will be doing a review on this soon, so just keep a lookout for that so I can get my thoughts put together. But it was actually pretty scary. It was pretty creepy, and I do highly recommend it for the Halloween time of the year. On a bit of a lighter note, more for kids, and actually adults can definitely enjoy as well because I sure did. But The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman was such a wonderful read. I do have a book review for this. I will link it down below for you. But this was just so much fun and it was such a good book. It was so nicely written. It was so enjoyable, and of course it's about a graveyard, so perfect for Halloween. It's about a boy that lives and grows up in a graveyard, but it's much deeper than that. It's so emotional in a very casual way. I don't know. I loved it so very much. I will definitely the review that I made down below for you, and you should totally read it if you haven't. It's wonderful, perfect for Halloween. Another set of books that I recommend. These ones are, again, like a middle grade kind of book series, but it's still pretty nice. It's kind of fun to read. It's about magic and fairies, and the fairies are evil, and there's all these missions that this group of friends have to go through, and there's magical cards involved, and it's just very, very fun to read, and I do think it's creepy enough for Halloween. It's perfect. I like it a lot, so you should definitely read it if you haven't. These are the Great Griffins trilogy, and I know there's another trilogy after this one that kind of continues where this one left off, but I have not read that one yet. But this one was really nice. I did enjoy it, and I do recommend it for the Halloween season. Another book I recommend is The Painted Bridge, and this is by Wendy Wallace, and it is pretty scary. It's about a woman that ends up stuck in an asylum. She's not crazy, so it's that kind of scary, situation, and this was in the late 1800s or mid 1800s, so it's very probable that, this stuff happened to many women back then, because basically your husband or anyone could say that you're crazy and you would wind up there and you had no control over it. There was no clear understanding of what the psychological mental disorders were and how to treat them. So she winds up getting tortured in this place, and it's just scary overall. It's pretty scary and I enjoyed reading it a lot, so I do definitely recommend it. Another book I recommend is A Monster Calls, and this one is not necessarily scary. It deals with a big topic, like it deals with cancer and it deals with death and healing from the experience and all of that kind of stuff. Anyways, it's kind of sad. It was more sad for me than scary in any way, but I do recommend them mostly because it's a different intake on a monster. The monster here is not the bad guy, and I like that. I think that's interesting. So the animations here, also the drawings, are just fantastic. The drawings, I would say, are like the most creepy thing here in the book. Like, come on, look at that. That is amazing. Are you seeing that? That is a beautiful drawing. Like, it sets the mood perfectly. It's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And it was a wonderful story. It has such an important message in it, and it was so emotional. But I still recommend it for Halloween. It's perfect for any time of the year, actually. But it's one of my favorite stories ever. I absolutely adore it, and I highly recommend it no matter what time of the year it is. Another book I recommend, this one I read recently, and I do have a book review for it as well, so I'll link it down below for you. But this one is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and it was not necessarily super scary. It did have some moments that were scary, like when you're trying to tell somebody that something is not right, that this is happening to you and people ignore you. I think that's pretty scary in a way because you feel so helpless. So that part was scary. It did have some monsters and creatures of the sort, but the mysterious way that the book is written, I think that was the best part of it. How mysterious it was written. I don't know how to explain it. It's just Neil Gaiman's way of writing is so amazing, and I would recommend this any time of the year as well, but I feel that it is perfect for Halloween. It's just perfect. Another set of books that I love to read any time of the year, I mean, they're wonderful, but I do like them for Halloween, is the original Grimms brother fairy tale story, because it is much darker than what, you know, the Disney movies are. Of course, it's pretty dark, and some of them are pretty scary and dark, and I just like them. I like them a lot, so I do recommend. And last but not least, of course, any of the classic horror stories, you know, like Dracula, Frankenstein, any of the classic stories I highly recommend. I mean, there's nothing like the classics. They started it all. I know as the years go by, I'll keep reading more and more books that are just wonderful for this time of the year. I am trying to get more into horror books. I haven't really owned or read many horror stories, so if you have any recommendations for really good horrific stories, do let me know, because I do want to get into that genre a little bit more. But as of right now, these are my favorite books to read during this time of the year. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I'm a little bit late in the month. I meant to do this much sooner, but I finally went through my bookcase, which is a mess, and I gathered some of the books that I love reading this time of the year. Some I just recently discovered, and others I haven't had as favorites for a very long time. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very, very soon on another one.